Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen with a whole heap of updates this time on Alpha 3.5 and beyond with what the various Cloud Imperium studios have been working on in the last month and are working on now. This is a summary of the Star Citizen monthly report and it's a pretty good one. Testing continues on Alpha 3.5 with the new flight model and other systems as they come online, such as new weapons, ships, and locations like ArcCorp and Area 18. The environment teams have been racing towards the completion of ArcCorp and Area 18. They're currently implementing custom brands and advertising, some of which are animated or holograms, sort of like banners and cool things you'll see around the planet, very Blade Runner-esque. The planet itself is in its final art stage and now includes skyscrapers rising above the no-fly zone to provide the players with landing opportunities and interesting buildings to fly around. They are working on improving and upgrading the no-fly zones used across ArcCorp since the existing system now needs to support an entire planet. It has proven quite a challenge. AI traffic over Area 18 is currently being developed. The team's starting small with a few ships landing and taking off around the spaceport, but they're also investigating ways to expand it while being mindful of performance. The core street furniture is now in, and the teams there that are doing props have moved on to the dressing pass, adding in new assets to give the life to streets, alleyways, and landing zone. The high-tech common elements are steadily progressing. These will be used across other planets and stuff in the future, with the transit, habitation, and security areas all moving to the art pass stage. Players will see the common elements alongside garages and hangars when they're added to Microtech's landing zone, New Babbage, in the future. There is a new transit connection that is almost ready between Lorville's Tisa Spaceport and the Central Business District. This route will allow players to move directly between the two locations and bypass the L19 Workers District. Work on organics is ongoing as they're sort of like doing improvements to planet tech and creating a library of exotic looking flora to fill biomes of New Babbage and other planets in the future as well. These sort of assets will be reused where appropriate, obviously changed and varied where necessary, and what looks good for planets, they're going to reuse assets. Not everything will be reused, obviously. A lot of stuff can just be changed a little bit or used in procedural sort of like asset boxes and stuff like that. There's also the potential we're going to see more information on procedural caves. The design guys there have focused on implementing Area 18 shops, NPCs, and usables. They are now being polished to ensure a believable and immersive experience upon release. They have got Area 18 in grey box. They began planning the modular space stations that will be built around this year too, including looking at the libraries, rooms, and content that goes into them. The procedural tool is also now at the stage where they can slowly start ramping up modular station production. They added new mineable rocks on ArcCorp's moons. Walla, in particular, will have a new type of rock that fits better with the crystalline formations available on that moon. Gameplay stuff. So they've refactored existing missions to make them scalable to more content available in the planetary system other than just Crusader. Significant progress was made on a new drug stealing mission from Twitch, the mission giver on 3.5's ArcCorp, as well as a blackjack security counter mission that tasks less morally corrupt players with destroying the stash. So counter missions, they're pretty cool. We'll just see more of those in 3.5. Including that one we just mentioned. Another focus was on implementing a variety of encounters with security forces and bounty hunters when the player holds a high crime stat. As well as practical work, time was taken to define the next tier of many aspects of the law systems, such as punishment, paying fines, bounty hunting, and so on. Ships and equipment stuff. They've completed and are bug fixing the Mako, Tana, and Sen Misk Reliant variants for Alpha 3.5. The Origin 300 I reworks are going to be going into QA testing soon. There is continued production on the 890 Jump, bringing more of the rooms into their final art stage from Greybox, including the hangar area. The Carrack is near a Greybox complete state as well, and select areas are being polished for internal review. Development continues on the Banu Defender, which slipped from 3.5 to 3.6 recently. It's utilizing a new sort of style of production that caters for its organic art style. A large portion of the exterior grey box is complete and apparently is looking fantastic. the interior updates to the vanguards are being wrapped up. Now, this is quite a big change. The entire area from the cockpit seat backwards, pretty much, are being completely redone now. This is a lot more than was initially anticipated. Now that the interior rework has been finalised and the framework for the variants locked in, the chip team can start on exterior changes to accommodate and continue with the variant-specific items. Gimbal Assist and its related HUD improvements were finalised as well, allowing for better balancing of this new weapon control scheme. Manned turrets have been improved. They've got a new little HUD there. They've got keybinds for input sensitivity that you can do on the fly. And you can see where the turret is aiming. You see the angles there. They've been fixing bugs and getting stuff fixed with snapping and erratic movements. There are scanning improvements too, which include adjusting the area for nav point scanning, enabling the use of nav point hierarchies, and adding a boolean to opt into the scanning data. This endeavor also covered adjustments to making scanning more involving by setting up AI turrets to generate signatures and be scannable, and adding specific icons for scanned, unscanned targets. Ping and blobs were implemented to display on the radar too, including focus angle and ping fire. They are continuing to make item port tech optimizations, developing tech for utilizing geometry component tags in the paint system, and they fixed a handful of other crashes. Economy and item stuff. The value of objects in-game has seen some thought. They're laying down the track for acquiring item properties and their values in the future. They've begun work on an administration interface for game designers and game operators to display real-time information about the state of the universe. This application can display information about groups, lobbies, and voice channels, along with details of online players, quantum roots, and probability volumes. Very important for their subsumption in the future. Hugely importantly, they began working out how to bring the rental functionality from Arena Commander into Area 18 in Alpha 3.6 with the new rental system for the Persistent Universe use. That is huge for me. We've needed ship rentals for ages. This will provide accessibility for players to get ships in-game, even if it's just for very limited periods of time, using in-game credits without having to buy the ship. Obviously, we can buy some ships with in-game money as well, but they were quite expensive, and people that just were weekend warriors, they might not be able to grind that much money up. The weapon art team completed the Gemini S71 assault rifle, which has a burst mode and a single fire mode, but no auto fire mode. It is a precision scoped assault rifle. The Kastak Arms Coda, which is a sort of very powerful hand cannon 6-shooter, and the Banu Singe tachyon cannons, which are a ship weapon. They have their own sort of new energy weapon effect and class as well. Those tachyon energy weapons, I believe they're going to be hit scan. They've also done some work on the Garrison tactical ballistic cannons rework and 5 variants of the Aegis Vanguard nose guns. They've also as well been offsetting reload animations and locomotion issues for the pistol set as well. Characters and FPS AI stuff. So there's lots of work gone into implementing the new DNA feature, otherwise known as the character customizer. So they've been creating and setting up the user interface, as well as getting the female playable characters in for 3.5. There's been some optimization of rig assets with runtime facial rig logic. This helps with eye contact and minimizing errors to help avoid the uncanny valley. This will have NPCs looking at you and sort of tracking you much better if they're talking to you. I'm not sure how players will avoid the uncanny valley when they're talking or when they're looking and moving around people, because obviously some of their facial expressions may be a bit sort of neutral when they shouldn't be. They finished the remaining animation sets for some characters in the Persistent Universe, including characters on ArcCorp in 3.5 and ship dealers. There's also been work to yet to be announced characters too. American Sign Language, ASL emotes, are being added to the game and are currently being improved with the addition of facial animations to go with them. Animation guys there are also doing some secret things with the cinematics team that we will get to enjoy soon, apparently, but I'm not entirely sure what that will be. They've been improving the hair pipeline and have developed new tools and shader tech to improve the realism of hair while maintaining quality and performance. More work went into the mission giver, Twitch, who is going to be on ArcCorp in 3.5. So they've been getting her textures and rigging done and her new hairstyle, which is going to be with the new hair pipeline. They are also refining the Xi'an concept stuff. Combat AI received perception updates, which were tested by the QA team to address issues where the FPS AI would not recognize the player being present in their vicinity. They've made improvements to the FPS AI character collision avoidance system, giving characters a good amount of free space when they move around each other, and now they will move sensibly, and it's a lot lighter weight than it previously was. They're also restricting combat behavior to allow better scalability when adding new tactics, and are investigating some of the bugs found in the Alpha 3.4 release. There is now a system that automatically selects behaviors for shopkeepers. This is part of ongoing work to unify vendors and shopkeepers and NPCs to make them work in a more modular fashion so they can reuse animations and edit general behaviors for all NPCs at the same time. They've also recorded some new wild lines, some new scripted stuff for bounty hunters, combat assist pilots, security pilots, that sort of stuff. The AI and mission teams will be using them to prototype and test out some new gameplay for inclusion in future builds. Some ship AI stuff. On the ship AI front, they've improved various aspects of dogfighting gameplay, including evasive maneuvers. When an AI pilot has an enemy on its tail, it will try and utilize different breakaway tactics with increasing and varied angles. It will also try to keep up momentum and chain together attack maneuvers. To achieve this, the team exposed new smooth turning subsumption tasks to the behavior logic. When detecting enemy fire, AI pilots will utilize evasive maneuvers to create a diversion. They also implemented automatic incoming/outgoing ship traffic over planetary landing areas. They are currently generalizing ship behaviors to enable the designers to easily set up traffic on multiple cities, capital ships, and so on. Engine and backend stuff. So background services continue to lay the foundation for the new diffusion network to help scalability for the backend structure of the game. Emphasis is on ensuring the dedicated game servers correctly connect to the diffusion services, the new ones, particularly the variable leaderboard and account services. They've nearly completed the new item cache service as well, which is going to be huge once it's done. As work is completed on the new diffusion services, testing will ensure a smooth transition to the new network. A lot of optimizations have been made for 3.5. They've improved CPU usage quite a few times in quite a few different areas, and the instance system used in compute skinning, which now they only have to skin once per frame, has been severely optimized. HDR support was added to their editor. Game physics is progressing with Projectile Manager 2.0, as well as optimizations to wrapped grids and state updates. Support was added for ocean fast transform wave generation to physics buoyancy calculations, as well as optimizing terrain meshes. A major system initialization cleanup was completed as part of an initiative to share core engine functionality with persistent universe services. Work began on the lockless job manager, a complete overhaul for fast response in high-load scenarios, and a new load time profiler was created. The VFX team updated the existing particle light system to a more modern system. The previous version was based on tessellation, which increased the rendering cost and had limitations on shadow resolution. The new one is a global change that will remove the need for tessellation and improve shadow receiving for crisper, smoother shadows. ArcCorp, Lyria, and Waller will be the first moons to use this new particle lighting system when it's ready for deployment. It will help the particles integrate into the moons more realistically and address issues when the particles have long shadows going through them, such as during sunset and sunrise. They also continue to iterate on thruster damage effects and began rolling that out to all ships. There has been some R&D into various improvements to the in-game streaming of video that will be rolled out in an upcoming release. This method also enables the transmission of in-game video streams to web clients, so external to the game. That's it for this month's update. Please, if you've got any questions or comments on it, chuck them down below so I can have a look through them and see if you've got any burning questions that I can answer over the next few days. A lot of good information in that monthly report, so I hope that was informative to you guys. Links to all the source material down below too. Every month we have a ship giveaway. This month, by popular demand again, it's for an Anvil Carrack. This time sponsored by Forgotten Heralds, a lawful private military company with a history grounded in UEE military service. They are recruiting at the moment and are a good choice for both veteran and new players alike. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that character though is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my Star Citizen videos made during this month. Links to more info on Forgotten Heralds and full details of the giveaway down below. If you don't have a gaming PC yet or you are upgrading, instead consider Shadow Cloud Gaming. They allow you to leverage the powers of the internet to stream a high-spec Windows 10 environment to any other PC, Mac or device like a smartphone or tablet. It is working really well in Star Citizen's 3.4 branch, and be sure to use the code BoredGamer if you do decide to check it out to get a discount. Links below. This channel exists because of its community. If you wish to support the channel further, below there are links to Patreon, Subscribestar, and there's the YouTube channel memberships, literally the join button below this video. VIPs do get some exclusive stuff and early content as a thank you as well. If you have any feedback, suggestions, or just want to say hi, please drop a comment below or poke me on discord.gg/BoredGamer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.